What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. In today's video, we are going to be completely disassembling this 2002 LS1 engine, and I'm going to give you a hint of what we're doing with it. It's finally time to put another engine together. All right, everybody. So, what I have here is a 2002 LS1. I bought it from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. It actually came complete. Engine, transmission, wire harness, PCM, the whole deal. But what I'm doing right now, I've stripped all that stuff off. I need to get it clean. I have work to do on it, so I need to get this thing as clean as I possibly can. I just want to show you how well my favorite degreaser works. So here's before, all dirty, and then after I'll show you clean. Just caked on. The guy I bought it from said it had 130,000 miles on it. And it looks like about 130,000 miles worth of engine compartment grease and grime. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up. So I'm not getting my grubby, nasty engine grime fingerprints all over my inside internals and new parts. There we go, nice and clean. Check this out. So nice. And if you're wondering what I was using to clean, this stuff. Super clean. I like the aerosol a little bit better. It foams up and really sticks onto the surface a lot better than the hand spray. But they both work really, really well. I really like them. All right, everybody. Well, I've got this thing clean enough to take it the rest of the way apart. It's going to get completely cleaned inside and out. I'm going to be gapping the rings. It's going to get a camshaft and a whole bunch of other parts. And the first step in that process is getting it apart, making sure there's no hidden damage or anything inside. It spins over. It feels like it has compression, but you really don't know until you get in there and see for yourself, especially because I haven't heard this engine run and was not able to do a compression test on it. So let's get this thing apart. Okay, so I've got the oil pan, the windage tray, and the oil pickup off the engine. Now, it's a little darker and sludgier in here than I would like to see. Pickup tube definitely shows signs of some extended periods between oil changes. The pan itself, the windage tray, I mean, there's some good gunk built up on there. But I don't see any glittery bits or shiny bits in there. And I don't see anything out of place or wrong or with excessive play in the crankcase. So I think everything is fine. We're still going to take it apart, clean it all up, get it all spick and span, and I'm going to reseal it also, because this thing, it was so filthy. It's got to be leaking oil, and I don't want to have oil leaks. So let's keep getting this thing apart. I need to port the heads also, so we're going to get the heads off and check all the pistons and everything here. Wow. I knew it had been sitting, and there's definitely signs that it had been sitting for a while. So we've got a little bit of surface rust on these rocker arms. So this is why, if I haven't heard an engine run and I don't know for a fact how long it's been sitting, I'll take it apart. Because you can see here, this engine's had water in it. Now, it doesn't look like it's had a lot of water in it, and I only see this in the top end where it would be most likely to have condensation. So I think it's just from sitting and condensation building up in it. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about. And the only thing from up here that I'm going to be reusing anyway is the rocker arms. And if they don't clean up and I don't feel good using them, I can come up with more rocker arms. Not a huge deal. I'm already planning to replace the valve springs. Not a huge deal. Nothing that I'm worried about yet. Woohoo! See, that's condensation damage. That's moisture collecting in the engine, sitting on the surfaces that change temperature the fastest, like push rods, building up condensation and creating rust. Now, if I'm being honest, I'll probably replace that push rod just because I have a pile of them here. If I didn't have a pile of spare push rods sitting around, I'd wire brush it off and reuse it. Okay. Side number one. Whoa. All right. Well, right out of the gate, I don't believe these are the stock head gaskets. This is a composite head gasket, and I am pretty sure that GM put MLS head gaskets on these things from the factory. Could be wrong, but pretty sure. And this thing is gunky inside. I mean, gunky. I mean, really gunky. This is in the water passages. Like calcium deposits and rust deposits. So we're definitely going to need to do a good job cleaning this block out. All right, it's the next afternoon. picking up where I left off when my battery died last night. I have this head off. I want to rotate the engine over and see how everything looks on these pistons. Don't see anything in any of these bores that won't come out when I hone the cylinders. In fact, they still have quite a bit of crosshatch in them. Yeah, still have a lot of good bit of crosshatch. Yeah, those look good. All right, let's get the other side undone. Cylinder walls on this side about the same as the other side. Good crosshatch with a little bit of staining. Nothing that won't come out with a hone. Okay. Spins over nice and smooth. Wow. I guess next thing to do, pull my knock sensors, pull the valley cover, pull the front cover. These Alright, well, I'm going to do what you're not supposed to do. Look at the cam bearings. I got the cam out. Looks like the stock cam, so I don't think anybody's messed with it before. These cam bearings look fine to me. Yeah. And those cam bearings are fine. That's nice. Won't have to mess with those. Alright, let's start getting some pistons out of this thing and see how they look. There we go. Number one. Has a little tight spot. Second ring has a little tight spot. Yep, definitely going to want to do a good thorough cleaning on this. Get those rings freed up. Good news is the rod bearings look great. All right, got all the pistons out, and to be honest with you, I am really impressed. The rod bearings still look brand new. I mean, there's really almost no visible wear on them at all. The rod bearings look great. The piston rings are a little carbony, but they all move freely except for cylinder number one. Cylinder number one, the top ring is stuck, but it's just carbon. So I'll be able to get that off when I clean them up. So rods and pistons look really good. The rod journals on the crank look really, really good. From the condition of these bearings and what I'm seeing, I believe what the guy told me. He said it had 130,000 miles on it. Bought it from the junkyard as a dropout setup. And I think that's true. I think that condensation and water damage that we found in the top end really is just from it sitting. And fortunately, that's minor. We can take care of that without any trouble. There we go. Main cap's out also. Man, the main bearings look just as good as the rod bearings. So, this thing looks really good inside. I don't think we're going to need, well, I know we're not going to need to replace any bearings. Just need to get it cleaned up as best we can. Because it's dirty. All right, let me show you how nice all these bearings look. I'll start because they're easy here with the connecting rods. So on the connecting rod, the load surface of the bearing is actually the part closest to the piston here, because the combustion happens, pushes down on the rod, and drives this into the crankshaft. As you can see, this surface here, I mean, it's still beautiful. There's no scoring, there's no scratches. Nothing. They're just absolutely beautiful. They look like they've only got 10 miles on them. Now, on your main bearings, the bottom of the bearing takes more load, the part in the main cap. And if you look here, you can see, aside from my dirty fingerprints, these main bearings are just beautiful also. There's no scoring, there's no scratching, just a little bit of shadow, which is of no concern at all to me. So these main bearings look great. Then the other bearings in the engine, the ones that everybody dreads, and in my opinion, people replace unnecessarily way too often, cam bearings. Now look at this cam bearing. Smooth, even, nice and shiny, no scoring, no gouging. And I'm sure a bunch of you are gonna say, Jason, oh my God, I can see the copper. Guys, if you've ever installed new cam bearings into one of these engines, you'll know they are tight when you put the camshaft in. I've had them so tight that I've had to run a bore reamer through to open them up a thousandth or two so the cam would actually go into them. So that little bit of wear does not worry me. I can't tell you how many of these engines I've taken apart, and they all look like that. And I slap a cam in them and put them back together, and they run great, no problems. So I'm running these cam bearings. I am not worried about them at all. And I'm sure they're gonna just probably outlive the amount of time that I have this engine in my project. So, and I don't plan on swapping it, so it's gonna be in there for a long time. But all the bearings look great in this thing. I don't see any reason to mess with them, to replace them. All I'm gonna do is just clean everything up, make the few changes that I need to make to the piston rings, the new camshaft, the new lifters, the things that are common issues that I don't know if are good or not because I didn't hear this engine run. And then we're gonna get it back together. Well, everybody, that's it, torn apart. Everything looks really, really good. Now we just need to get everything cleaned, get the piston rings gapped, wait on a few more parts to get here, and then get it all put back together. But that's going to be a separate video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And until the next video, take care. All right, team. So if you stuck around this long and made it through the credits, you get a little bit of a bonus. Check this out. This is the hint you get for where this engine is headed.